what trend on this Monday morning are you seeing in the polls?
Well, I think the most important trend is the one that everybody's talking about, which is the stakes for this debate could not be higher. You have multiple polls showing that this race is tightening. And I think there's been this sort of refusal to suspend disbelief that Donald Trump could win this race. And I think this morning there's got to be kind of the reality that, in fact, Donald Trump is moving forward, seems to have momentum. He's got some things to work with tonight.
When you say things to work with, specifically what?
Well, our poll took a look at some perceptions of the two candidates, and one of the things that a majority of likely voters said were a concern was Hillary Clinton's health. A majority rated her fair or poor on that. Now, a very strong majority, 3 and 4, rated her intelligence as excellent or good. So it'll be interesting to watch how the candidates sort of deal with their vulnerabilities, but also deal with their areas of perceived strength.
Now, on the other side, how about the questions about Donald Trump's temperament, you know, his character and inability to some to tell the truth?
Well, one of the things this poll also reveals is there's about equal concern on that front. We asked about the truthfulness of each of the candidates, and very strong majorities give both candidates a poor or just fair rating on that. So in order for one candidate to score on that, they're sort of opening up their own vulnerability on it. It's kind of the pot calling the kettle. And so we'll see what ends up happening there.
I mean, do you think tonight there's going to be, you know, a tagline? Remember Ronald Reagan saying, "I paid for the microphone," or "There you go again." I mean, something like, you know, Donald, you know, stop lying, or Hillary, stop lying, or come clean, or something like that. And how could that affect the impact on a poll?
Well, I'm certainly believing that, as I imagine what's happening in all the debate prep, they're looking for 3 or 4 things to have in their pocket they want to be sure they say. Sentences they want to be sure that they utter, that they think will have a lasting impact on that. I mean, the trick is it's the electorate who's going to score it. So if one candidate gets 3 and one candidate gets 1, well, that could change things in terms of what happens after that. But that's why it's so exciting heading into this, because anything could happen and likely will.
You know, and also that could actually change some percentage points. Let's see how close it is. For example, Colorado, a very important swing state. I mean, take a look at this. 1 point separating Mrs. Clinton, well, actually 2 points in Colorado, and Mr. Trump. Pennsylvania has 1 point between them. I mean, it is so close. And at the same time, you have something in Iowa that's starting on Thursday, early voting. We keep on thinking that the election, of course, is in November, but you've got 37 states to start early voting. How do you think this debate tonight could potentially affect people who are casting ballots in just a few days?
Well, I think that makes it exceptionally interesting is how they end up doing tonight and affecting that, because there are people with the nastiness of this campaign who just want to be done with it. So anecdotally, I've had people say that as soon as early voting opens up, they're going to cast their votes so they can turn everything out, just turn it off. And I think the early vote kind of captures the people who are clearly confirmed on the candidate that they've got. What happens is that, and this is hard for a poll to pick up, there are very few undecideds, but there are people who sort of are deciding to vote or no, I'm not going to. Oh, okay, I guess I will. No, this is just too much. I don't need to vote. So the size of the electorate is expanding and shrinking as people are sort of turned on, turned off, concerned, angry, worried. All of those motivations are going to go into it. But that early vote for those candidates is gold. Traditionally, it benefits Democrats. Republicans tend to like to vote on Election Day.